Come on. Okay, can everybody hear me? Hopefully, can everyone hear me? Okay. Now can you hear me? Okay, great. Yeah, StreamYard has done some behind the scenes stuff, so it's just getting used to the new whatchamacallit. So the new protocols, the new software and all that nightmare. But everyone, please remember I'm a clairvoyant, clairaudient. Everything is for entertainment purposes only. I did have to put the disclaimer up. And it's just crazy. I know I'm not going to, some people may miss this, but it can, okay? And that's what I'm saying. Uh, we'll see what goes on. And I'm just doing the best I can with what I have to work with right now. Hey, K-Mac, Catherine, Star, Morgan. It's just been crazy. Now, a lot of people are I'm going to put the link in. Let me get the link in case anybody has questions they want to pop in and ask. This past week has been crazy. Last weekend, some stuff hit the fan. I found out some information, and what I found out has been I've been on the phone a lot to the 202 area code, Washington, D.C., because of some things that are happening. Most of all because, well, let's put it this way. When I first started doing this back in 23, the guy who goes by Screwed Slime, whatever his nickname is, whatever he goes by these days, he doxed me. And he pulled out information and tried to scare me with putting it up. Well, long story short, back in 2020, the woman who benefited from the lawsuit, she's the one who helped the BLM brats to dox me. And it went viral, and I had family members contacting me, is this you? And I'm like, yeah, that's me, because I stood up for the police department. Okay, so hi Raja and Naveed, whatever. So yeah, and so this week it's been on the news that this federal justice, Jeffrey Irvin Cummings, he happened to be my attorney and used my case, basically climbed over my back to get his federal magistrate position and to get where he is now. Well, yes, he's the justice who told ICE that they have to release 600 plus people from incarceration, 600 people that are to be deported. Jeffrey Cummings is saying, oh, you've got to release them. Well, you know what? ICE, federal people who are watching this, check out the immigration status of his wife. If I remember correctly, he actually married her. She's from the Caribbean, and he married her on her home island. What is the immigration status of the wife of Jeffrey Irvin Cummings? And of course, shortly afterwards, they had a kid ASAP, so she definitely has an anchor baby. Well, let's put it this way. Jeffrey Cummings he did a lot of things he should not have done. Hi, Joe. First of all, he still no sound. Yeah, please check. I mean, I'm checking this here. Hi, Outer Limits. I'm sorry, but it's, yeah, it took 4 attempts to get this up because, let's put it this way, certain people don't want this information out. I'm discussing Jeffrey Irving Cummings, the federal judge who is telling ICE to release those 600 people. Well, basically, I'm spilling the tea on Jeffrey Irving Cummings. Yeah, his wife is from a Caribbean island. Please check, we need to check her immigration status. Well, long story short, back in 2011, I had reached the point of I had been getting for through 2009 and 2010 and everything, I was getting jacked around by the Teamsters Union. I was doing the work of a film unit Teamster, and if I was lucky, I might have been getting 1 or 2 days of production assistant wage, which is totally bullshit. And it took me about a year to find an attorney who would file the sexual discrimination case against Teamsters Local 727. And yeah, if you go online, you can find all the information, all the court filings. It took from October 6th, 2011 is when I signed the documents, and it was finished up in March of 2018. Jeffrey Irving Cummings was my attorney. He did a lot of things that were unethical and that are considered legal malpractice. And when I was informed, it was in 2019 that I was informed of what he did was malpractice. When I went to file the paperwork, it was basically tossed aside because he is one of Obama's buddies. And of course, Illinois is blue state. So, hey, one thing, back in 2016, he saw that on my Facebook page, I was putting up things very pro-Donald Trump. He was calling me up saying, you got to take that off your Facebook page. Remove it now. And I'm like, no, not going to happen. And once I said no to that, everything in the case from 2016, basically he stopped working for me. He started working to feather his own nest. Some of the things that he started to do, it's like after initially the case was dismissed by this stupid Posner guy. We went through the appeals process and was reinstated. Teamsters didn't like that. So then the Teamsters, every time there was a status hearing, they kept asking for continuances. Every time there was a status hearing, I would hear about it after the fact. Jeff Cummings refused to allow me to go in to the federal courtroom to meet the judge. He did. He was basically because I'm a member of the GOP. Hi, Annabelle. Jeff Cummings decided to use my case. Thank you. To feather his own nest and to screw me over. And I've attended events here in Illinois and have spoken to other women, other white women, and he's all screwed them over with their cases. So he's very racist towards Caucasian women. He's a buddy of Obama's. Definitely. He basically bullied me into a settlement. He forced a gag order on me. And when I was injured in 2014, I was all set to get I had a different personal injury attorney, and he said, no, you got to use my associate, Andrew Pippin. Andrew Pippin basically screwed me over, permanent injury. He settled for $7,000. Andrew Pippin did when we went to court in 2015. I ended up with $3,000. So I knew that was something nasty. Halfway through the case, Nancy Maldonado, who was the associate, she bailed out, but she used the case as her info, part of her CV to become a federal magistrate to get on the federal Seventh Circuit Court. Cummings brought in his buddy Steve. I never saw any work that he did. I was a picture car coordinator, Joe, because I'm into cars and had vintage cars and participated with all the antique car clubs. Anytime a film would come in that needed vintage vehicles, I know where to find them. I know the private owners. I know who have the big collections. Yeah, I have the phone number to Jay Leno's garage. Hi, Myra. So basically, yeah, and I was getting shafted. Yeah, I'd get brought in as like let's put it this way. They didn't want the fact. People like Teddy Lekarsky, he was a picture car coordinator. Yeah, he would have somebody pick my brain, then he would take all the credit. He's a lying sack of shit. I did get hired from one gig on Public Enemies, but the next day I went into work, they said, we're told we can't use you. Took me over a year to find an attorney to take the sexual discrimination case against Teamster Local 727 Film Unit. You can poke around. You can find all the information on the internet, just like the slime idiot did. And Cummings basically allowed to every continuance, so he really didn't have to work. Pushed me into a bullshit settlement where I ended up with $30,000. Yeah. Because of his behavior and what he did and some of the other things, basically I lost everything. Totally lost everything because of what he did. He did things that were unethical, forced me into a gag order. Yes, the New York Times, I did an interview with them. And when he saw the article before publication, he refused to allow them to publish it. He was very angry because I was good friends with Ruth Ratney. She had an internet, well, it was a true publication, and as time progressed, it became an internet webzine called Real Chicago, REEL Chicago. And she would talk about all the information, all the stuff happening in the TV and film production world here in Chicago. She did a couple stories about me. And because Ruth was telling the truth, Jeff put me under a gag order. He didn't want the world to know what he was doing. His unethical bully behavior. He was saying, if you don't sign these documents and agree to this, you're going to be held in contempt of court and have about a $2 million legal fee. And I'm like, hey, there's always bankruptcy. Yes. He bullied me into signing a bullshit settlement. And in the settlement, I'm held to a gag order. I'm not supposed to say anything disparaging about the Teamsters. But one of the little Teamsters, Lucy Dye, the woman who benefited from the situation, is allowed to go trash talk me, assist the BLM in doxing me, and nothing can happen to her because every attorney in the state of Illinois is scared shitless of the Teamsters. Well, you know what? They did try to go after me, but I was never served with the paperwork. They had me tried in absentia. Dudes, You're going to an apartment that I was evicted from in 2015 because of the bullshit that Andrew Pippin screwed up on. Yeah. I was telling Jeff, I mean, I slipped and damaged my foot, which triggered my body into RSD, CRPS, and I wanted to go on temporary disability. And Cumming said, if you do that, I'm no longer going to be your attorney. Yeah. He goes, you're going to get hit with a bill. Yes. So basically, yes, I lost everything because of his ego, his behavior. He did a lot of things and a lot more things that I don't want to say on the internet right now, but if I am contacted and the information, my email is in the description box. Because I put this up over on Truth Social and everything else, if I'm contacted by any of the elected members of Congress and the Senate or Department of Justice, I have a stack of emails I am more than happy to present to have him disbarred. And what he did, he used my case, my back, to get into the Seventh Circuit Court. And I'm not afraid to say it. He needs to be disbarred. All of his nastiness, I am more than happy to go on national, international TV with an attorney that is provided by the DOJ, and I will spill more dirt on him. He did a few things that could be considered Anita Hill, Clarence Thomas category. Yeah. He's scum. And he needs to have every single one of his judgments where it has been against a Caucasian female reopened. Definitely needs to be reopened. Yeah. And this character, Lucy Dye, yes, she helped the BLM in doxing me. And I'm laughing because, yeah, this information, the guy who goes by Slime, yeah, he put it up in 23. And now he's playing nicey nice with everyone. So a question, Slime and Michelle Donofrio, why did you decide to trash talk me? Who paid you off? Is it someone affiliated with a trade union? Was it intentional? Who paid you off, guys? Who provided you with information? Yeah. You dug it out. If you want to know some of the stories, you go and look. It's Teamsters Local 727 Film Unit. If you go and poke around on the internet, look for articles in Real Chicago. It's from the 2008 forward. And in Deadline Hollywood. They did a few articles also. Dig it up. Go ahead, you can find it. And yes, the fools that in 2020 who got the information from the Teamster, the two women who doxed me are Nina Villasenor, and the other one is this Gabrielle Mastro. She goes by Moss Mastro on Facebook. Yeah, Gabrielle, she graduated from Illinois State, U of I, trying to be a doctor. But she's a vile human. And she's from Elmhurst, Illinois. And she's on TikTok and stuff. Joe, my email address is in the description box. And one of the other things I've been screaming bloody for, yeah, I have bombarded Rod Blagojevich's posts on Twitter X. Hey, look at my shit. I've got the info. You want to go after these federal judges? I've got him. I can take him down. Or can make his life very, very uncomfortable for what he did. Here I stood up, and he used it to his own advantage, and I got screwed over. Literally. Well, not physically, but legally. Okay? In the state, and I'm trapped here in Illinois because the doctors who know what to do with RSD, CRPS, are here in Illinois, so I'm basically stuck here because of the medical care, and I have had to do some uncomfortable things, live life, and lowest of the low in order to qualify for housing assistance. And because of the bullshit with Jeff Cummings, I mean, the EEOC said I should have been awarded a minimum of $480,000. If I had, I would have been able to pick up a condo. But of course, because I'm a white female, Jeff Cummings made sure I got nothing. Definitely nothing. And yes, it's a struggle here in Illinois. And I'm careful. I had to cut back on how much because Illinois, if you make too much money, that's considered an asset. So yeah, I had to cut back on how much time on YouTube because I can't run the risk of making too much money because they would penalize me. But if you cross the Rio Grande illegally, I mean, getting soaking wet, and then you came up to Chicago, Illinois, you see J.B. Pritzker and Baboon Johnson are violating Illinois' Equal Rights Amendment. Illinois will be spending close to $3 billion to give the people who came into the United States illegally complete medical care, complete dental and optical. I mean, these people are getting partial plates, new teeth built. But if you're actually on disability here in Illinois, if I need dental work done, I can go in and get them cleaned, and that's about it. If you have a filling or a tooth that needs something, I would have to have every tooth pulled. They'll make a full, complete set of dentures, but they will not make a partial plate. But the people who came here illegally are getting partial plates made. Talk about disgusting. They're also getting, each individual is getting close to $1,000 a month in food stamps. I get between $75 and $80 a month in food stamps. Yeah, because I'm a white disabled American, a legal citizen. So the state of Illinois is violating their own Equal Rights Amendment that true Americans get a fraction of what they're rewarding the people who come here illegally. They say, oh, they should be able to vote. Well, then how come the other voting members aren't getting the same benefits? It's J.B. Pritzker. His family runs Hyatt hotels. Got to boycott them, folks. Big time. Big time. So, yeah. Burying, yeah, I mean, fortunately, because of the Teamster bullshit, and they've got, allegedly, I owe them over $500,000, I can't even get a passport to leave the country. And you need a passport to leave the country. It's like, thank you, Chicago Teamsters, the Coley family. You can lie about me, but heaven forbid Your members can lie about me, but if I try to go after them, there's everybody, nearly every attorney in the state is scared shitless. Yeah, it's disgusting. So it's like, hey, if someone from the DOJ sees this, go in the description. There's an email address. I'll be looking for emails. Okay? And I have no problem spilling all the tea and dirt. Everything that evil Cummings did. And now other things people have asked me over the past week. Yeah, Giorgia Meloni and Viktor Orban, they are von der Leyen, I'd say by January, it's probably going to be Georgia and Viktor sharing equal responsibilities with the EU to clean it up and to kick out and to ban the burqa and the abaya wardrobe out of Europe. And the people who keep screaming for halal meat, so go back to your family's country of origin. They keep getting, it's going to be Georgia and Viktor cleaning Europe up. And be cautious, because people are saying, oh, people are flying over to Pakistan for this and that, family events. Right now, Pakistan it's basically, there is a undeclared war going on between Pakistan and India. Again, it's the same shit as what happened in the 1940s, the partition. It's Islamic idiots who want world domination. And the Hindus and the Sikhs are standing up and fighting back. I know we've got that idiot who got elected in DC, and in New York City, but he's going to get, I keep getting, he's not even going to he may be Charlie Kirked when he's making his speech. Someone will do the same thing. Okay? I keep seeing the Charlie Kirk thing, but with the New York's chosen Islamic idiot there. And then someone asked me, they go, what's going on? I'm like, Henry and Rachel. Okay, you have to realize that Rachel signed documents before the marriage stating that any children, that they surrender the children automatically to the guardianship of the monarch. So those kids, they may have the alleged children in their custody, but the true guardians is the monarch. KC3 is the monarch. Okay? And then William will be. Those kids will be brought back. We won't see it. The consul general in LA will make it happen. And Henry's going to end up living out his days at Highgrove, because Charles technically owns Highgrove, Sandringham, and Balmoral. People are saying, no, Highgrove is part of the Duchy of Cornwall. No, it's not. He owns it outright. And that house will be willed to Henry, that estate. So that will be Henry's property. And KC3 is still going back and rereading the letters sent to him by his Uncle David. That's why he's so stupid right now. Switch the word Nazi out and put in Islam. That's what Charles is doing. And because he is so loyal to the Islamic idiots, it will be announced that William is regent. And I give Charles maybe 6 more months anyway. By May 6th, William will be totally in charge of everything. By May 6th, 2026, William will be in charge of everything. And don't worry, Catherine is in, how do I say it? When she went in for her surgery, they removed everything, clean margins, and she was put through that round of chemo and radiation just to cover the asses of the doctors. She really didn't need those, but she had to do it to pacify the doctors, okay? Catherine is fine. They caught it in time, cut it out, clean margins, and those chemo and radiation was just preventative measures, okay? Yes, Henry, outer limits, Henry and the alleged children will be hanging out at Highgrove. That's where he's going to be exiled to. Too bad they can't send him down to St. Helena's, but he'll be at Highgrove where he will have all the security he could ever want. Definitely. He will have his security. Now, it's, yeah, last Sunday, I'm sorry I didn't get to come up, but I was kind of in a lot of pain. I just want to say right before Labor Day, I was out taking care of errands. I was at a shopping center. Oh, thank you, Christine. I tripped on buckled sidewalk. The cement of the sidewalk had buckled. I tripped on it and I fell. And I blacked out for maybe a minute or so, was taken to the hospital. They did the x-rays and they said, oh, you just bruised up. And they gave me one set of meds and sent me home. Well, that was on a Friday afternoon. By Sunday, I was in so much pain, I went back to the ER. I got an ER doc by the name of Patel, who was very misogynistic, dismissive. Oh, you're just bruised. Well, I've been in a lot of pain and discomfort ever since then. And my former primary care doctor, she goes, well, you're just bruised. She didn't even order another x-ray or anything. I called one of my other doctors and I said, boom, what's this? She sent me in because I told her every time I sneezed, my left breast, the pain was just unbelievable. And so she sent me in for an MRI. Well, the girl, instead of having me lay on my back for the MRI, I was laying on stomach down, and I was literally crying in pain. But the MRI tech was clueless, so I did end up finding a new primary care doctor. I had a nice long chat with her. She's like, well, what we'll do is I can't order another x-ray, yada-da, but I can order a CT scan because you're a smoker and you cut back to like less than 5 a day, but still, let's run you through the CT to make sure it's lung cancer screening. But she goes, I will write a note in there for the radiologist to please check this area. Well, when we got the results back from the CT scan on that Sunday, he said, I'm walking around with 4 broken ribs. And yeah, it's the 4 broken ribs, ribs 4, 5, 6, and 7. And it's just been extremely uncomfortable. And now we know why I've been so miserable since August 29th. Will President Trump be successful in his lawsuit against the BBC? That television media networks, Don't be surprised if they permanently shut down to capitulate. They will do something to kiss the ass of every American. And let's put it this way, those of you who have the Roku box, um, there's the thing called BBC Select and BritBox. Those are two divisions, money-making divisions of the BBC. Everybody, please cancel your subscription. And they were, it's going to blow up in their faces, and they will capitulate. Not only the Trump case will also expose everything they did to Diana and everything that they have hidden about Charles. And yeah, someone else asked me, Andrew, he's going to be fine. William, it will be revealed that Andrews was basically a James Bond working with MI6. It will come out. He will have to go and testify before a closed-door grand jury here in the United States. And Andrew's affiliation with the MI6 and the CIA will be revealed. And don't be surprised if Andrew is a guest down at Mar-a-Lago. Because all the Epstein stuff will release all the nasty shit that Barry Soetoro did, who happens to be a good friend of Jeff Cummings. Okay? Jeff Cummings and Barack Obama are buddies. Yes, they are. He lied, but I saw them together. I had confirmation through somebody who I can't name right now. Okay? So, wouldn't surprise me if Cummings is on the Epstein list also. But Obama, it's going to be exposed that he was having fun with a lot of little boys. And of course, the truth about Michelle Mikey will come out. Because she was having fun with little boys also. And Andrew has all the dirt on them. He has it all. And it's hidden, but that Virginia, she basically flipped the script and exposed all to some 3-letter agencies. Okay? All right? She revealed all to the 3-letter agencies, and that quote-unquote memoir is flipping out. Okay? Big time flipping out. He is, they are flipping out about it, okay? And it's all going to come out. It will all come out. Okay? Now I'm putting the link in, I guess, if anybody wants to come in, ask questions, if there's anyone who would like to come up on and ask directly questions. Because, yeah, it's like people need to find out what's going on in this world. So I know there's a lot happening. And let's see who's doing what where. Okay. I know we've got a lot of stuff happening. So if anyone would like to come up and ask, up, I know many of us the other day watched Fiona. She was on, what, almost 4 hours. Yeah, people say, oh, you got to check out so and so and so and so, but like I just don't have the time to go online constantly to listen to people like Candor, because his lives go for 2, 3, 4 hours. Same with what her name, Denise Burnside. Hers are anywhere from 2 to 5 hours, and that guy Slime. And pretty much I ignore Melty and Slime and whatever recollections may vary, whatever pseudonym, whatever hidey hole she's under now. I'm like, that woman's just, she's lying trouble. I mean, if someone does contact me and say, oh, you got to listen to this or that, I wait the 12 hours and then I'll put it back on, and I'll put it on 2 to 3 times on. Okay, Christine, okay. In Virginia, in the state, go back and I'm getting American Revolution time. Go back, because Virginia is a commonwealth, not a state. And people have to bone up on the differences, because the Spanberger is going to try to pull shit treating Virginia as a state, and it doesn't sink in that it's a commonwealth. So go back and read your political history, your government history, so you and everyone else will be on board to call her out. And people, especially kids, once they know what she's doing is incorrect, you can embarrass the hell out of her, so she will have to resign. Go back, do your history on it, okay? Do your digging. Hey, sit back, watch the movie 1776. Okay. Thank you, Lady of the Lake. Thank you so much. We're going to make this, everything happen. People are saying, are getting PO'd at me because I'm so pro-Trump about stuff. And I get, I get bombarded by these stupid phone calls. Oh, they're like Medicare changes and final expenses and this and that. And literally, I call them out for their lies. I call them out, and basically what I say is, especially when I hear a lot of nonsense in the back, I'll just say Magbar ala mafemoch. You're going to have to find someone who knows Arabic to translate that, okay? But once I hear that, click. And the other thing is, on a lot of the newer phones, when you've got a phone call going through, there's a little button you can click to record. So I hit that record, and it makes this announcement saying this phone call is being recorded. They hang up. And they're coming out of Asia, which means they're part of, these telemarketers are part of the Muslims, the Islamic idiots. They're trying to steal your information in order to make life miserable. Okay? It's part of their Islamic domination. All these telemarketer calls that are coming out to everybody. It's part of the evil Islamic empire. Alrighty? And I call them out. It is going to explode. And people that allowed this, who gave them permission to harass people whose phone numbers are on the do not call registry list. The person in negotiations who's allowing all our phone numbers to be pestered, is Barry Sotero. he gave permission, and again, gave them permission via Jojo Biden's. Yeah, Jojo and Barry basically sold out everybody's telephone number, so we would be harassed. Yes. The California, yeah, they are pulling the CDLs, the driver's licenses of these illegals, because our transportation secretary cracked down. And if they start questioning things, you see Department of Transportation actually controls all the airports. And the boat docks, the shipping docks. And up and down California, it's all coastline. So every marina and dock, port, seaport is technically under the control of the Department of Transportation, every airport, and every interstate highway. So Gavin Newsom was basically told, either you pull these CDLs or we're going to shut down every seaport, all the railroads, and every airport. And all the interstate highways. So can you imagine how long it would take little Gavin to drive someplace? From Sacramento down to Los Angeles? That's that could end up being a 2-3 day drive. Yeah. I know. It's like you have to be careful with everything, the banking and so forth. It's laughable. It's like I get calls all the time. Hey, do this, do that, and on Twitter X, there are all these idiots that say, "Oh, I'll help you out with I just won the lottery and yada da yada da." There's a couple websites where you can find out the names of every single lottery winner, and all these wannabes on Twitter X. I laugh. They pester me. They send me messages. I said, "Hey, if you want to know send me cash, go to my YouTube channel. You'll find the information." But that's too much work for them. That scares them off. Okay? I just stand up to these bullies, and that's what all of us have to do. And the CDLs, Kathy Hochul in New York is going to get cracked down also. Yeah, that Islamic idiot is going to want to put taxes on people who do business in New York City. Right now, Kathy Hochul is getting pressure from the Department of Transportation because of Kennedy Airport, JFK Airport, is like one of the major flight hubs for people coming in and out of Europe. And New York has already been contacted by like Lufthansa, Swiss Air, Air Italia, Iberia, British Airways, Olympic, every single international airline, stating that either she clamps down on that Islamic idiot Mondami, or they will no longer be landing at JFK. They'll be landing at Newark. Or go out to it'll be Logan and Newark picking up all the big flights, all the international flights. So, yeah, this is one of the reasons why Kathy Hochul is clamping down on little Zoran. He needs to be put in you know what, why don't we just He's such a character, an evil animal. Why don't we have him locked up at the Bronx Zoo? Yes, a lot of branches are shutting down banks. They're actually charge you more if you go and see a human teller. But there will be, go back and read the fine print when the banking statutes first kicked off. Well, yeah, Prince Albert helped to basically organize the banking system in the UK. Check it out. And yeah, Eddie 8 tried to screw around with it, but QE2 signed all stuff to keep the banking system uncorrupted. Dig around the paperwork for that, and you might have to go back to the time of Winston Churchill in QE2. Okay? So they had to reorganize banks right after World War II. So go dig around with that. I know here in the States, people, a lot of the smaller banks do make it part of their adverts stating, yes, we've got real people for you to talk to. And yeah, Gay, I know a lot of banks, they're like, if you withdraw more than $3,000 in a day, they're asking you, what are you doing? If you're going to write a check for more than $10,000, you have to go to the bank ahead of time and tell them. If you plan on going and buying a car and paying cash for it, basically you go to the bank, tell the bank person, I'm purchasing a car, I'm going to this place, and I'm going to be writing out a check. And we're going to do a money transfer. Okay? And yeah, there's some, depending on what banks you're dealing with. I have a brick and mortar account, but for a lot of stuff, I use the net spend card. It is it's an internet thing, but they're out of Austin, Texas, and everything is affiliated with a brick and mortar bank down there, and they're a lot safer. And there is a telephone number where you will get a person in Texas. Okay, I'll put it in the if you want to have like an internet banking, I just put in the what you want to go look for. Okay, that's who you look for, and they're really good. And like I said, they're out of Austin, Texas. You get a real Texas telephone number, not an 800 number. So if you have issues, you can talk to someone in Texas, and they'll help get things straightened out for you. Okay? And they are affiliated. It is part of a brick and mortar bank in Austin, Texas. A little bank, but you don't have to worry like that GoBank card that you see in a lot of currency exchanges that's affiliated with Walmart. That's actually a Chinese bank owned by the CCP, a communist-owned bank that communist China could grab every single cent you have if you'd use the GoBank card that Walmart puts. So you want the net spend card, which is American guys, okay? And like you said, we don't mess with Texas, okay? You don't mess with Texas at all. So let's see. Any other questions or questions? With anybody who wants to come up and chat? You boycott Walmart. Well, I do go to the one Walmart because they do stock a couple grocery items that the other stores in the area don't. The Walmarts here stock the 4-pound bags of sugar in the raw, those brown bags. The other stores don't stock it. They stock the small boxes that they charge Yeah, going to Walmart, it's $8 for the bag of sugar in the 4-pound bag of sugar in the raw, and yet the grocery stores that are right next to me charge $8 for a 2-pound box of the same product. So you do have, when you're on a tight budget, you have to go and do marketing where you know who has the best prices. And you're boycotting Amazon, yeah. Well, we know Amazon, I guess Rachel's in talks with them. Mm-hmm. I mean, a lot of people dropped Netflix when they saw Netflix did a big contract with the Obamas and Henry and Rachel. So I think Jeff Bezos, after he saw, Jeff Bezos allowed Rachel to attend that birthday party in order to observe her behavior. And somebody like that, he had cameras going, hidden cameras all over the place. He has her entire behavior from that evening saved, and they've watched it. And basically, they're going to be able to use that to control Rachel. Either you do what we're saying, or this is coming in out. Okay? So Amazon, Jeff Bezos and his Amazon are doing it just, they watched what happened to Netflix. And they're not going to make the same mistake. They're going to call it out. Okie doke. So everyone, yeah, I've been on. Sorry, it's like, I'm sorry for the confusion earlier today. I will work on it and getting everything straightened out. And go ahead. Please email me, and if people need to have other questions, go ahead, email me, GLNDATHGD17@gmail.com, and make sure your phone's hooked up to WhatsApp so that way I can talk to the people internationally. And we'll figure out the time zone differences, okay? Because right now in Australia, it's basically 3 o'clock in the morning. So we'll see what happens. And thank you, everybody. I apologize for the technical screw-up in the beginning, but we will make everything happen. Okie dokie. And I've got the dirt on Jeff Cummins. And if you need more information, the DOJ, shoot me an email. I'll start printing up all the crappy emails that he sent to me. Bye. Thank you for watching.